Rassie Erasmus explains Springbok's Cape Town plan and gives honest Bongi Mbonambi update. As the Springboks prepare for a crucial second test against the All Blacks in Cape Town, head coach Rassie Erasmus has once again found himself answering some of the biggest questions surrounding South African rugby. Following the Springboks' disappointing 33-16 defeat to New Zealand at Ellis Park, many supporters expected the team to make immediate adjustments in every area possible. One topic that quickly attracted attention was the squad's decision to remain in Johannesburg rather than travel early to Cape Town, where weather forecasts suggested rain could play a role in the upcoming test. However, according to Erasmus, concerns about wet weather preparation have been greatly exaggerated. Speaking to the media, the Springboks coach made it clear that he believes stability, comfort, and consistency are far more important than chasing uncertain weather conditions. While some observers questioned why South Africa would stay in sunny Johannesburg instead of preparing in potentially rainy Cape Town, Erasmus explained that training in the rain does not automatically improve a team's ability to perform in wet conditions. For him, the bigger priority is ensuring that players remain in a familiar environment where recovery, preparation, and training routines can continue without disruption. The Springboks have spent significant time building systems that maximize player performance, and Erasmus sees no reason to abandon those advantages simply because rain might appear on match day. From the recovery facilities to the training fields and the overall setup available in Johannesburg, the coaching staff believes the current environment offers the best possible preparation ahead of a massive clash against New Zealand. The decision also carries another important benefit. By remaining at altitude in Johannesburg for a few extra days, the Springboks can continue training under conditions that challenge their fitness levels before moving to sea level in Cape Town. According to Erasmus, this provides an additional physical advantage, allowing players to feel fresher when they arrive for the final stages of preparation. Rather than focusing on weather forecasts, the coaching group has chosen to focus on factors they can control. It is a practical approach that reflects the way the Springboks have operated throughout recent years. Since taking charge, Erasmus has consistently emphasized planning, preparation, and long-term thinking. Even after a difficult loss, he appears determined not to overreact. Instead, he wants his players concentrating on performance improvements rather than external distractions. The defeat at Ellis Park was painful, but there is still an opportunity to respond strongly in Cape Town. The Springboks know they must raise their standards against an all-black side that exposed weaknesses and capitalized on opportunities during the opening test. Every training session this week has therefore been focused on execution, discipline, and correcting the mistakes that proved costly in Johannesburg. While discussions about travel and weather generated headlines, another topic attracted significant attention: the Springboks hooker situation. Team selection has once again highlighted how important depth is at one of rugby's most physically demanding positions. Veteran Deon Fourie has earned a recall to the matchday squad at the age of 39, demonstrating the remarkable trust the coaching staff continues to place in him. His inclusion comes as South Africa carefully manages its options behind starting hooker Malcolm Marx. Last weekend, Jan-Hendrik Wessels was used primarily as loosehead prop cover rather than as a specialist hooker replacement, creating questions about how the Springboks see the position developing in the future. According to Erasmus, the long-term plan remains clear. Wessels is viewed as a player who can continue growing into a specialist reserve hooker, but the coaching staff believes development takes time. The young forward is gaining valuable experience in training and matches, facing elite opposition and learning the demands of international rugby. The Springboks understand that building depth is not something that happens overnight. Every player requires opportunities to develop, and Wessels is no exception. At the same time, Erasmus acknowledged that experience remains extremely valuable when facing a challenge as significant as the All Blacks. That reality helps explain the return of Fourie, whose versatility and leadership continue to make him a trusted figure within the squad. The veteran has enjoyed one of the most remarkable late-career journeys in professional rugby. After spending much of his career as a back row forward, he successfully transitioned into a hooker role and became a key contributor for both club and country. His ability to cover multiple positions gives the Springboks flexibility, while his understanding of the team's systems provides reassurance in high-pressure situations. Beyond his contributions on the field, Erasmus emphasized how valuable Fourie is within the group. His experience, rugby intelligence, and influence in discussions around tactics and preparation make him an important figure behind the scenes as well. In a squad filled with talented players, leadership often becomes a deciding factor, and Fourie continues to provide exactly that. Perhaps the most interesting part of Erasmus' latest update involved the future of Bongi Mbonambi, one of the most respected hookers in world rugby. For several years, Mbonambi has been a central figure in the Springboks setup, playing a major role in South Africa's recent successes. However, injuries have limited his availability, creating uncertainty about when he will return to the international stage. According to Erasmus, the experienced forward is getting closer to full fitness, but there is still an important process that must be followed before he can be considered for Test rugby again. The coach revealed that Mbonambi has been dealing with both knee and lower back issues, and while communication between player and coach remains regular, the Springboks are determined not to rush his comeback. In modern rugby, returning from injury is about much more than simply being medically cleared. Players must rebuild match fitness, regain confidence, and demonstrate that they can handle the physical demands of competitive rugby. For that reason, Erasmus believes Mbonambi needs to play meaningful matches before any international return can be seriously discussed. The update offered valuable insight into the current Springbok hooker pecking order. While Mbonambi remains highly respected within the national setup, his absence has allowed other players to receive opportunities. Malcolm Marx continues to play a leading role, while younger options are gaining valuable experience. The competition for places is intense, and every player understands that selection must be earned through performances. Erasmus made it clear that reputation alone will not be enough. Even a proven World Cup winner like Mbonambi must return to competitive action before being considered for Test selection. It is a balanced approach that reflects the professionalism of the current Springbok environment. The coaching staff wants players available, fit, and fully prepared before throwing them back into international rugby. Supporters will undoubtedly be encouraged by the news that Mbonambi is moving closer to a return, but they will also understand the importance of patience. Looking ahead, the coming days could prove significant for the Springboks. A response against the All Blacks is expected, and the team knows that another defeat would increase pressure heading into the remainder of the international season. Yet despite the disappointment of last weekend, there remains a sense of confidence within the South African camp. The squad possesses enormous experience, world-class talent, and a coaching group that has repeatedly demonstrated its ability to adapt under pressure. Whether discussing travel plans, player development, or injury recoveries, Erasmus continues to focus on long-term success rather than short-term reactions. His comments suggest a coach who remains calm despite intense scrutiny and who trusts the systems that have delivered major trophies in recent years. As kickoff approaches in Cape Town, attention will naturally shift toward the action on the field. Can the Springboks respond to the challenge presented by the All Blacks? Can experienced players like Deon Fourie make an impact when called upon? And how soon will supporters see Bongi Mbonambi back